Hello, my Wulong Fallen Dynasty friends. This is Kadima with a much needed video on Wulong Fallen Destiny, considering that we just got the release of the newest patch, and also with it the DLC, bringing a new area with a few new battlefields to the game, also with a few little things that add content to the game. Now, let's go through what's new about the DLC. Of course, starting with the new area, which is accessible by the flag. As soon as you download the DLC and you install it, you can travel it by going on to your already existent map, and under EX1 you will find the DLC area. You can see that under Crouching Dragon difficulty I'm yet to initiate the content, but if I change to Rising Dragon, you can see I have already completed the DLC on it in its entirety. Now, one thing I want to mention is also came with the DLC. It's the new difficulty, which by pressing triangle on this map you get the Soaring Dragon difficulty, which starts at recommended level 150, which was the level cap of the game before the DLC. This is now changed. The level cap is now 300. Now, that's another thing that is important to mention. This will open doors for new builds, new combinations, maybe hybrid builds. That was something that was not really a thing before. You could only actually focus on one or two things. Now you can actually use a combination of all virtues, because the level cap being 300, you can easily just put 60 on every of the 5 virtues and you will get level 300 and have an absolutely hybrid build covering all the virtues, which is something to look forward to if you are interested in build making. Another thing that it's important to mention, besides the fact that the level cap is 300 and the new area, is of course the new weapon that is now available, which is the Kestas. I do not think I have any with me to showcase, I'm afraid, but let me just have a quick look. Kestos, as the name pretty much points out, it's a weapon for the fists. I don't think I have... Oh, yes, I do. There you go. You got this one as an example, the Beast King Cestises. And I also got the Tanking General Cestus. As you can see, this one did not drop as part of a Grace set, but this one did. This one dropped as a Grace of Xuanyuan, the Yellow Emperor. I also got a new set that this hammer happens to be a part of, the Hammer of Vendetta, which is the Guileless Tiger set, which if you check what it does, it has to do with hammer damage and reduction of damage received while attacking. It's a nice set. I'm looking forward to try it when I do go back into playing the game. You also got the Wulong Cestises. So yeah, we got a few new weapons and sets available. I am not going to go through all of these, but one thing that it's important to mention is we now have 6-star equipment. 5 stars is no longer the top quality. This now is 6 stars. Unfortunately, this is a good thing, which is great. It's great to have gear now all the way up to 6 stars. However, I fail to see where the biggest benefit is. Because let's look at this. If you go onto a 5-star piece of equipment, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The benefits you get from having a 5-star piece of equipment is that it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bonuses. And this unfortunately does not change for 6-star equipment. As you can see, it's just the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is a bit of a shame. I was expecting to have an extra slot of benefit to the weapon. This would allow even more increased build making, more creativity, focusing on 1, 2, maybe 3 virtues onto the same weapon and onto the same gear. It is a shame that it's not the case. However, That doesn't make the game less interesting, quite the opposite. It gives us something to look for, something to farm, something to play the game for, which is to get our hands on the highest possible rarity of equipment, this now being 6-star. Now, I also mentioned that we got a new difficulty, which is the Path of the Soaring Dragon. We also get a few new demons and enemies. We also have a new Divine Beast. As you can see, I have it equipped on this character already, but I'm just going to show you what it is the Phalian. This one gives you spirit damage up to 7%. It gives you HP restoration from melee attack damage A, gives you a max equipment weight of plus 52, and ultimately when it's fully unlocked, it gives you Divine Beast Gauge gain of 4.2%. It's not a bad Divine Beast, I would say. Its attack and its animation is actually quite interesting. I'm happy to use it on this build, considering I'm using a heavy build, quite relying on spirit damage. The fact that I now have a little bit of Divine Beast Gauge gain just adds up to it. Unfortunately, even with the max equipment weight increased by plus 52 and 99 virtue investment, as you can see on my character, I have 99 on Earth virtue, but still I only managed to get agility to B, which is a shame. I wish this Divine Beast would give us that little bit more to allow this specific build to go agility all the way up to A. That would have been absolutely bonkers. I would have loved that to be the case. In any case, again, it's not a bad Divine Beast. It's something useful, something to look forward to, and you automatically unlock it by playing the story of the DLC. As I said previously, there are also new set bonuses exclusive to equipment obtainable in the Path of the Rising Dragon. I have not played much of the Path of the Rising Dragon, unfortunately. As you can see, if I go to my map again, and you look at my Soaring Dragon so far, I have played part 1, I played a couple of missions on part 2, I actually tried to test the ape farming, tried to get my hands on some 6-star equipment. It did not go well at all. The HP of the ape compared to the damage I was doing was absolutely ridiculous. I would not recommend farming the ape, at least if you are level 171, which I am at the moment. The recommended level, as you can see, it's 173, so probably I would recommend farming the ape only later on as you reach level 200 or maybe level 300, and if you have finished the Soaring Dragon difficulty, maybe then it's a good idea to farm the ape or farm the Terracotta Soldiers if you want to go down that road. It's also doable, but as of right now, as soon as you start the game and you finish the DLC, you most likely will not have enough chi to invest to level up your character massively, so I wouldn't go there. Another added thing is that you also have new Accolade Rewards. If I quickly go onto the Little Master and I talk to him, you will see that on the Accolade Rewards, you will also have access to another chest, past the gold chest of equipment. You have the jade chest of equipment, which will automatically definitely give you a 4 or 5-star piece of equipment with a small chance of obtaining a 6-star. That being the difference between the gold chest and the jade chest. Now, in my personal opinion and preference, would I recommend investing your accolades on this? Hell no. Accolades should be prioritized for rank 9 steel and rank 9 leather, as these are more useful to upgrade your weapons. Unfortunately, one thing that it's sad to find is that now the weapons being upgradable past level 9, as you can see if I check my blacksmith, and I go to upgrade, you can see that I can upgrade my Wolf Fang Club to plus 10, but I just don't have the required materials. The weapons will be requiring cold forged steel, as you can see on the top right corner. As for the armor pieces, they will require Jihao leather. I don't have any GL leather. As far as I can tell, these are only obtainable on the latest difficulty. I have only played 2 missions and I only got my hands on 2 pieces of the cold steel, so I haven't upgraded anything. Also with the DLC there are new trophies and achievements unlocked all across all platforms, and new titles and records. There is also another thing that is important to mention, is the addition of another Wizardry spell slot. So if I now hold R2, which is the button you have to hold to cast your Wizardry spells, and I tap L2, it would change my Wizardry spell slots to a second slot, which I don't have at the moment because I don't have any spells there. But if I put any spells on this slot, I'll just randomly put some spells here so you can see what happens. So if I go back to my character, I hold R2 and you can see in the top, on the bottom right corner, I apologize, if I press L2, it allows me to swap between the different wizardry spell sets. This will also allow for more variety in build making and how you approach the game. Do I want to use poison here? Do I want to use lightning here? Do I want to use ice? Or do I want to use earth spells? It gives more versatility. It allows to a lot more options. With this being said, it's also important to mention that they added 10 new wizardry spells. Unfortunately, these are not something that you can just learn by completing the game. You have to find certain items called hidden tomes. It's a new mechanic for unlocking these spells. If I go on to my wizardry spells, you will see that I have only found one. Not here. If I go on to changing this one, and I go down, and I keep going down, I have only managed to get my hands on one new spell, which is the Stone Bastion. Unfortunately, throughout the course of the DLC, this was the only one I ran into. I haven't played much of the new difficulty, as I said before, so I haven't found any more of these. I believe, and I want to believe, that as you play normally, these will most likely be rewards of certain bosses and not just randomized drops that you get from whatever enemies. They are most likely, the new spells are most likely going to be rewards from specific bosses, dropping those hidden tomes accordingly. Now, another thing that has been added is the Store Genuine Chi, which allows players to accessing level up menu upon reaching the maximum level. It won't be lost upon death if you store the chi. Also, there's been added a new consumable item, which is the handheld gong. It's obtainable by drop rewards from certain enemies. There are a few new martial arts as well, such as the turning clouds, which can be used for straight sabers, swords, and curved sabers. There's also new special effects and a few other things that add quality of life and further improvements to the game. Now, one thing I want to mention is my personal experience with the DLC. Again, this being my personal experience, it's just my opinion. You are entitled to have your own. You might agree or might disagree with my opinion. Feel free to drop your opinion in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to share my thoughts with you, and of course to hear what your thoughts, your own thoughts are on the DLC and all the improvements that came with it. Now, let's talk about the DLC itself. So if I go on to the travel and I go back to the Rising Dragon difficulty, you will see that this is the DLC area, which contains 1, 2, 3 main story missions. You got that? 1, 2, 3. These are the main story battlefields. Everything else is sub-battlefields, which is great. I mean, it gives you something to do. In total, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 new battlefields to play, 3 of them being main and then 7 sub-battlefields. I mean, it's a small DLC in terms of size and game time. I took about 6 hours to complete the entire DLC area, maybe less, because I actually spent some time playing the game during my stream. So I would say, in reality, I played about 5 hours. Now, it's important to say that during those 5 hours, I spent quite a long time in the main battlefield in the name of Accolade, because the last boss is quite tough. I think it does put Lu Bu to shame. It's very hard. It hits very, very hard. It can easily one-shot you if you mess up your deflects. Its attacks chew your HP like nothing I've seen before in this game. And you have to keep in mind, I was using my tank build, which has extremely high defenses. I have a sufficient amount of HP, and I was still dying one shot to certain attacks. So it was an interesting boss fight. I was very happy with it. It was very challenging. I loved that boss fight. I died countless times, but I ultimately managed to succeed, and it was a good feeling to be able to go past that challenge and make it through the game. However, most of these sub-battlefields are fights against NPCs, or just pretty much some kind of arena, which it's a good challenge, but it doesn't add a lot of story, which is a shame in terms of game content. Again, I'm not ranting about the game. I love the game. I love the DLC. I just wish there was a bit more content to it. Now, that being said, I love the fact that new spells have been added, new sets have been added. I'm not really sure about the whole 6-star rarity, because I don't really see the benefit being worth the grind. I mean, if I don't get an extra bonus for my equipment on 6 stars, I think the 5 stars is not going to make much of a difference until I test this properly when the time comes. Another thing I would like to point out, and again, keep in mind this is my personal opinion, is that with adding a new difficulty to the game with the Soaring Dragon, I am not so inclined right now to do this. The reason being, I'm quite invested in Diablo 4, and I'm pretty sure other players out there who play Wulong Fallen Dynasty and most likely love the game as much as I do are probably in the middle of playing something else. Maybe Diablo 4 as well, maybe Final Fantasy, I don't know. They might have just started investing in a new game, and the DLC dropping with having an entire new difficulty, although it's appreciated, it just doesn't turn the game into a priority right now. I have completed the DLC, I have enjoyed the new content, but repeating the whole game one more time and going through the process of finding all the flags and, you know, exploring the whole map all over again, it's just not appealing to me as of right now. I'm pretty sure I will be doing this as soon as I finish my focus on Diablo 4, but tell me what you guys think. Are you in the middle of playing a different game? Are you going to stop what you're playing to invest on completing Soaring Dragon difficulty and then go back to whatever it is you're playing right now? Tell me your thoughts down below, as I would like to see it and to hear these. Now, again, the new sets are most welcome, but none of them felt OP from what I got my hands on. Nothing got my eyes in a way that I said, I have to get my hands on this. If anything, I actually want to test a set and a build that I already have made before, which is, if I change into this particular set, if I go into the battle preparations, it's the Heavenly Emperor set. The Heavenly Emperor is the one set that will benefit the most from having all the virtues on the same level. Now, as I said before, if you have all virtues at level 60 and being level 300, this is most likely going to be a very generous set to try, and I'm looking forward to try it when the time comes. But as for the time being, I will continue to invest in Diablo 4. Now, just to sum it all up, guys, I appreciate your time and watching my content. I know it has been a very long time since I last updated the channel and I posted any videos. I've been very busy at work and very invested in Diablo 4. I will be uploading videos on Diablo 4 very soon, as I'm very close to reach my goal. But to finish on Wulong Fallen Dynasty, guys, again, leave your thoughts down below. I would love to hear what your opinions and thoughts are. As for me, this is gonna be the video for the time being. As soon as I can, I will be returning to it. I will be playing through the Soaring Dragon difficulty, and I'll be seeing you guys in the PvP section. As you all know, that will be the place to find me if you're looking forward for some friendly duels or any challenges that you'd like to pose on me. But this is me for now. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheerio!